Hello everyone, welcome to my YouTube channel named as CAT to IIM by Manoj Mahajan. Today we are going to have an exciting session with Nitesh in the journey of CAT to IIM. And before connecting with Nitesh guys, I would like to introduce myself. I'm in the industry for the last more than 18 years guys. And if I look over here, I believe in one line which I've written on the screen as well. Not just an educator, but a mentor. So definitely you can feel this line if you join my classes guys, CAT to IIM. And definitely before joining, you can look forward for a free guidance with me. I'm a quant and LRDI expert. And you can contact me guys on the number 9891565351. Now let's connect with Nitesh, and we are going to get some insights how his journey was, and definitely we are going to learn a lot of things so that we can apply for CAT 22 and CAT 23 as well. So let's connect with Nitesh. So hi Nitesh, welcome to the channel.
Hi sir.
Congratulations for converting IIM Bangalore, IIM Indore, and finally joining IIM Bangalore, right? So before you talk about the success journey, first kindly introduce yourself. Try to mention your profile, your CAT percentile overall, and final conversions, Nitesh.
Okay. So sir, I have done my BTech in civil engineering from NIT Jamshedpur in 2017. Post that, I joined Bharat Petroleum, which is a PSU, and I was working there for the last 4.5 years. Additionally, I had scored a 10 CGPA in my 10th, 89.2% in 12th, and 85.8% in my BTech. So that was it about the CATs. And in CAT, I have scored 90.75 percentile, and I belong to the OBC category. So I had calls from Bangalore, Indore, Lucknow, the CAP IIMs, Visakhapatnam, Nagpur. I think I have covered majorly all of them. So I had converted out of them. I had converted Bangalore, Indore, Visakhapatnam, and nowadays they have this in CAP that if you're on waitlist, you need to pay around 10-25,000 to be considered for the next round. Since I had converted Bangalore, I didn't pay that. So I don't know if I would have made it, but that's more about it.
So congratulations for the IIM Bangalore conversion, Nitesh. This is a dream B school for many aspirants, right? So how's your feeling studying currently right now in IIM Bangalore, right? Maybe you are in a IIM Bangalore hostel, if I'm correct.
Yes, sir. Currently, this is the hostel that I'm in.
Okay.
So it feels great. There are a lot of people and they have amazing personalities. They have done so well right throughout. I am sharing classroom with one who is a CAT 100 percentiler, so that feels amazing.
Oh, great.
So it's just a learning experience. I think if people will be inspired to do this, then they'll just prepare hard and be here.
So you are in the top institute, so definitely the cream is there. So a lot of learning is going to happen during your 2 years you're going to spend over here, right? Yes, so sir. Definitely later on, Nitesh, we would look one video from your side also, the life at IIM Bangalore later on, right? Okay, let's start the another part of the session. A lot of people want to know that when you started your CAT 21 preparation, right? Which month you started last year preparing for CAT 21?
So I started, I wanted to do my MBA for the last 2 years. I was thinking of doing an MBA. So I appeared in CAT 2019. I didn't perform well. And then COVID happened. So the things got delayed. And I was very interested in doing MBA this year. So I started my preparation in May 2021 because I wanted to give myself 6 months to analyze my weakness and perform to my expectation that I wanted to. So I started in May 2021. And right, okay. Yes.
So in totality, from May till November, you have worked very hard for the CAT part, right? Okay. So just let us know in this duration, what was your preparation strategy? Please highlight section-wise, quant, LRDI, verbal, and what you're going to highlight is, Nitesh, how did you cover your concepts, right? I'm sure that you must have done a lot of practice. So any source of material which you want to recommend to the aspirants, right? Did you make notes during the classes if you have done classes? And how did you do the revision? So try to focus on these parts one by one. You can start with any section and telling us also which was your strength, which was your weakness, right?
Sure.
In terms of section.
So when I appeared in CAT 2019, I had done decently well in verbal section. I had a 93 percentile. So I was more focused on doing the quant and LRDI section. I was looking to strengthen it first. So my preparation strategy, since I was working, so I wanted to just stay consistent with the classes. So I joined Manoj sir classes through an online channel. So I joined his classes. I was very regular in the classes. And what I did was I used to maintain a notebook in quant specially. So what I used to do is in the class, whatever the important topics were, whatever the important learnings were, I used to pinpoint, make 3 major learnings out of them and note it so that I had less time to revise. I need to spend less time to revise those. And then I had made a separate register also that we used to call state register, where we used to maintain all the silly mistakes that I was doing. So what happens if you keep revising those mistakes, you don't necessarily make the same mistake again, because you know you have done this in the past. So these two are the things. And specifically when I talked about Manoj sir classes, no major formulas are required. You just need to know what is the concept behind it and how can you apply it. That's basically how it teaches. So not too much of formulas, just different kinds of problems and what are the learnings associated with it. I just maintain those, and quant was pretty well covered with those. For LRDI, I suppose the thing is, as the number of questions you practice, you get more clarity about it, and you are able to solve a lot more things. There are different questions. If you don't know how to approach them, it becomes a trouble. You can't just see a question and start solving in the exam. So there are so many sets. You need to just prioritize how you want to do it and solve different sets rather than solving similar sets. So that was also thing that used to happen in Manoj sir classes. Basically, all those classes, most of the concepts were covered through Manoj sir classes only. I have done only his classes. I have not gone to any other faculty or seen too many books. I had just one Arun Sharma book that I used to follow for quant, and for practice for DILR I had a quant material. For CL material, carrier launcher material that I used to follow that. So these were basically covered by quant and LRDI. For verbal, I used to read newspapers because I think because I wanted to be prepared for general awareness and I had lack of time due to work. So I used to read newspapers, majorly the editorial sections that basically give you a hint about how to approach in writing. So that also prepares you for VAT. So I used to do that. So that basically covers up what I was doing for the 6 months.
Any particular newspaper you want to recommend to the CAT aspirants?
The Hindu. Hindu is very good.
So basically, Hindu is being recommended by a lot of students, guys. So make sure that you can follow that. And what I understood by Nitesh conversation is like keep revising your silly mistake. That is very, very important. So I call it as a shit mistakes also. So please do maintain that from the beginning. And every week you can revise, and definitely 10 days before CAT, you should keep the top priority in revising the shit mistakes, right? Secondly, if I look over here, focus more on concept building, guys, especially in the quant part, rather than like mugging formulas. So it should be not dependent on the formula based approach, the quant section, because I personally believe formulas fall flat in the CAT, rate. And what he has gone for the LRDI is like practicing more variety of sets, which I feel that has made him more comfortable about the LRDI section. And reading is something which is very, very critical for the verbal part. So he has tried to cover a lot of reading through the newspaper. So reading also has been taken care of, plus the GK stuff also, which could be tested in the exams as well. The other exams like IIFT you have, ZAT you have, and also in the interview which you're going to face for the B schools, right? So this is what he has done for these areas. Let's move to the another important area, that is the mocks. So first of all, let us know, Nitesh, like in 21, when you started writing the mock.
So I was late in starting on mocks. I started giving mocks in September. I just looked up and I saw that I had appeared for around 11 mocks. I was giving the mocks through Career Launcher portal. So I was scoring around 85 to 92 percentile in all every paper. Most the marks ranged from 85 to 92 only. So
The lowest and the highest was in this
yeah,
range.
yeah, it was in that range.
So around 11 mocks you wrote. So you feel that maybe this is something which you were lacking in terms of number. That's quite low. And I'm sure that
Yes.
if you have started a bit earlier, maybe in terms of overall percentile which you got in the CAT would have been on the higher side, right? So I personally recommend guys, maybe if you guys can look forward the number of mocks, just don't quantify that. But still, if I say anything in the range from 25 to 30 would be really good when you're targeting the CAT 22. So maybe in this range, if you can keep your mocks, and more important is not just the number, guys. It's the importance is in the analysis part, right? So if you write and if you do thorough analysis, then things are going to improve for you, right? Okay, so like you have given 11 mocks, anything for any particular strategy you had while writing those mocks, like there's a way you're going to attempt quant or maybe LRDI or maybe verbal. So what was your mock strategy, right? How you attempted, right?
So for quant, the idea was simple. You just have to go through all the questions and you will be able to score very good, very well if you are able to just go through the questions and see if only attempt the easy and average questions, you will be just fine with it. You don't have to attempt the hard questions. That is the first thing you need to eliminate in quants. For verbal, what you need to do is you just need to make sure that you go through the passages and see and don't miss out on easy questions. There are some easy questions in verbal also, and don't get stuck up on understanding on the passage. If you're not able to understand, you need to move on, because you only have 40 minutes in a section. You can't be stuck up in one passage because you might lose out on an easier passage that is next. And for LRDI also, what I did was I went section wise. I didn't choose any questions on priority, because there are times when you look at a question, you feel it's easy, but it's actually difficult. So what I did was I started in the order that was printed in the paper itself, and I just scrolled through. If I was able to solve a few, good. If not, then move on to next. I wasn't just don't get stuck up on the problems, because you have to score, maximize your marks.
Okay. So can you just let us know section wise what you scored in quant, LRD and verbal? Overall, it was around 90. You have already mentioned. Section wise, can you brief us?
For quant, in quant, I had scored a 94.46 percentile. For in DILR, I had a 80 point something, 75, I suppose, and verbal, I had 83 point something.
Okay. So guys, if you look at the section-wise percentile, he was able to clear the cutoffs of the top B schools, right? So what I'm just trying to highlight over here is, guys, let's say if you belong to a OBC category, or maybe a general category also, the sectional percentiles are always on the lower side, maybe 80 for some institutes, 85, or maybe at max 90, right? And yes, the overall, if I look over here, would be slightly different if I look over here, or a huge gap if I look over here between for a general and the OBC thing. So that we will talk about a little later with Nitesh. So just let me know one more thing, because you have appeared in 2019 also, right? So you were a repeater, right, in 21. So
yes.
Being a repeater, Nitesh, what mistakes you avoided this time for CAT 21?
Sir, the mistake I did last time was I started pretty late. I thought ki 2-3 months I will just give and I'll be able to score, but that doesn't happen. Even if the concepts are easy and you can solve the questions, but then also you need time to assimilate those and retain those things in your mind. So I would suggest that if anyone is interested in cracking CAT, then he should start pretty early. At least give a minimum of 6 months. That is a must if you want to score well. So I did that. I started in May itself. And second thing is be regular. If you are attending classes, be regular in classes. If you are solving assignments, solve assignments on time, and even attend the doubt sessions if they are scheduled, because that really clears your mind how you want to solve a problem.
Okay, so what you feel is consistency is very, very critical.
Yeah,
Which
very
help you crack this time, and you feel sufficient time should be there, right? So, like right now we are in the month of June, so maybe people can start right now. There are still 5 months are there, 150 days we have around, and really work hard, be consistent, things can change, right? Okay. So just let us know another thing, like because from 17 onwards you started working, as you were saying. So along with the job, you had to manage your studies. So how did you manage, like my classes and the job was also there? So how did you manage, Nitesh?
So it was actually really hectic in those times. What my job demanded heavy hours. So I was working from 9:30 in the morning to around 7:30, even 8. So there was nothing I could do about it. I just had to attend my office, then rush back home. And as soon as I reached back in 5-10 minutes, I would just get freshened up and attend the classes. That was the thing. There was no anything I could do about it. So I made it a point that I should not be complacent and start missing classes, because once you do that, you get a habit of missing classes. So I was very particular that if I have to attend, I will attend, regardless whether I was working 12 hours, 10 hours, it doesn't make a difference. So I was pretty regular. I attended all the classes. And once you get used to it, after 1-2 weeks, things look easy. It is not that difficult. You will be able to do that.
And did you like allocated more time on weekends, maybe because it could be a 5 days job? I am not aware of how many days job it was.
Mine was 6 days job.
Okay.
So yeah, on Sundays I used to focus more, 5 to 6 hours
Focus
of
more.
study. And
And
then
did you go for any break before the exams, maybe a 1 month break or something like that?
I would suggest people to take the breaks. Actually, I was not in a position to take a break because it was not
Okay.
available. So I would suggest, if
Okay.
people are really interested and they know that they have to do well, and that is the option they are seeking. So I would suggest that they take up a break. 1 month will be very good. If they are able to take that, that's great.
So guys, especially for the working people, you guys have to devote more time on the weekend part, and definitely on weekdays. I'm pretty sure that you must be tired because working since morning till evening, or maybe late in the night also. But try that whatever hours you can actually allocate for your study, maybe 2 hours also would be good enough, right? If you can focus on weekdays, and more number of hours you can always spend on the weekend part. And later on, as Nitesh was unable to do so, but he is suggesting that if you can take a break, maybe a month or 2 months before the CAT, that would be really great, right? And like scoring much higher, right? Okay, another thing, Nitesh, I want you to highlight, especially because you can actually share that. Uh, like around 90 percentile, you got like call from Bangalore, you said Lucknow, I guess, and Indore too, right?
Yes.
So just let us know any data which you can share with the OBC students, guys. Uh, that normally at what percentile they can expect the calls from Ahmedabad, Bangalore, Calcutta, Lucknow, maybe FMS. These are the top colleges which people aspire for. And any other tip, suggestion you want to give to them, right?
Sure. So I have discussed with a lot of my friends who are in different IIMs. So what I have come to know is the cutoff is a bit lower for OBC candidates, as already people are aware of that. So in Calcutta, I know people have got calls at 97, 98 percentile. In Ahmedabad, I have heard people getting calls at 98. For Bangalore, I myself have got a call. So you can easily say, if you get 91, 92, there are chances you'll get a call. If you have good acads as well, that's a plus. So, and Lucknow, people get calls at around 94. For Indore, you easily get a call if you have 90, around 90%. So that's
Ahmedabad, just can you repeat again? Around
98. I have heard 98. People have got call at 98 also.
So 98 for Ahmedabad, 97, 98, you're saying Calcutta, that's what you heard of, right? And it
Yeah,
could
that's
be
what I've heard.
lower also, that's what you heard of. And around 90, I think so you got from Bangalore because of your work experience also, right?
Yes, work
So it would be difficult for people without work experience in the OBC category also getting a 90. I think so, because of your experience, you got the call at 90 from Bangalore, right? Okay, so this was a good insight what Nitesh has given to us. So normally probably the OBC aspirants also can look forward to get calls at as low as 90% and also from Bangalore if they have the work experience, right? So this one positive thing, and I'm sure that if you work hard, that's something you can achieve, and even much higher than that, right? Okay, another thing which I want Nitesh, because people or the aspirants are ignoring that fact, and they start preparing for VAT PI once they get the call, right? So was the case same with you, or you started before? And so just let us know when you started and how did you prepare, right? What were the major points you focused on, right?
Okay. So since I had already had around 4.5 years of experience and I wanted to do MBA, so even though I knew I didn't perform as well as I had to in the CAT, I knew that it was only 40% of the component during final selection. So you would still have around 60% that you can, 10-20% are for past CATs, and the balance is for the personal interview. So I knew
And
that I had
just interrupting between, let me tell you, Nitesh has a very good acads also, right? So that has also supported a lot in converting the call. That's what I feel. So Nitesh, that is also one of the important factor, right?
Yeah. So
Yeah,
I knew
carry on.
I could still do well in the balance 30% that's left. You cannot do about the 70% that has already happened. There's 30% left. So what the mistake people do is generally they wait, relax for 1 to 2 months, and then when results come, they do, as you have rightly pointed out. So you missed out on that crucial time that is there. So what I did was, just after my CAT, even though I knew I hadn't done as well as I wanted to, I started preparing for the VAT and the PI also, because I knew if I was able to score well in those sections, I had a chance of converting some good B school. So right after 2 weeks, I would suggest 1 to 2 weeks after the CAT, I started preparing for the VAT and PI. I used to look upon various platforms. There are Quora, there is some Telegram groups as well, Facebook groups as well. So you can see what are the past interview experiences have been, what have been the past topics in the written ability test, and you can get a glimpse and start writing yourself and then seeing the solutions if you want to. So that was a thing that I did, and it helped me. I hope it will to others as well.
Okay, so you have faced so many interviews like Bangalore, Lucknow also, right?
Yeah.
Indore, and the other CAPS colleges, if I look over here. So any particular question which was common in all the interviews, or you want to highlight that these are the few factors which everyone should definitely look forward in for the interview, right?
Yes. One question that is very basic is why MBA? People should be very clear about it. There's no
Yeah,
point.
that everyone
There's
asks,
no,
right?
there is no point in seeing the answer on the net and just copying it. People don't want that. Why? This is a question that is very personal in nature. Why you want to do, and people should make their own answers, because eventually they will just question and grill you on that only. Why you want to do an MBA? That happened with every interview that I have faced. So, make this the interview should be a personal experience rather than a copied experience from internet. So, make your answers according to your personality, because they will test you on that itself, not on some
Yes.
answer that you see on the net.
Anything they tested on the subject knowledge, because you already have a
Sub
good experience. So did they still check you on the subject knowledge?
it varied. For Bangalore, they focused really on the work X part. What I was doing in my job, what were my learnings, why I want to do an MBA, why not a business analytics course. So they were pursuing on that. In Bangalore, that was very work related. In Lucknow and Indore, they were really asking about the quant aptitude also. They were asking questions about maybe geometry, hyperbola, what is the equation of hyperbola, the courses that you have done in engineering. So they were asking on that. Since I was a civil engineer, so they were asking questions on civil engineering as well. What happens in this foundation, what happened in that foundation. So it varies, but I think for Bangalore, it's basically WorkX, and there is a statement of purpose that you prepare for Bangalore specifically, where you write a 600-word essay. Why do you want to pursue an MBA and why you are a better fit for IIM Bangalore? So you have to write an essay and you have to defend that essay in the whole interview. So that is a very that differentiates for Bangalore only, and for the rest it's a pretty basic interview. They'll test you on anything. It can be for MBA also. They'll ask about marketing, management, finance. Most of the IIMs share a booklet prior to the interview. They share a booklet which has a few FAQs where they share about some slight knowledge about the different backgrounds of MBA, such as finance, accounting. They'll share some small concepts and they expect you to read that so that they can get a sense of your preparedness for the interview as well.
Okay. So maybe what you're trying to say is that Bangalore focus more on the experience, and the Lucknow, Indore, they've even talked about your domain, that was civil engineering, which you have done your engineering, right? And even they tested something on the subject part, right? So for aspirants, basically, whether you have like 4 years experience also, be ready with your subject knowledge also, which I keep telling to my students apart from your work experience. So that was the journey for the VAT PI, right? Okay. And the last thing to end up, Nitesh, like it was a long journey of 6 months, 7 months for the entire preparation and all. So my contribution as a mentor in your success journey, right? So what do you want to highlight on this part?
This question is very overwhelming because I think your contribution has been immense. I was used to look up at subjects differently. I used to see quants as something that is more formula based, but the way you teach is very different. And I think it's no other teacher in the entire country, I would say. I would like to say that has teachers like that. I was changed. I was blown away by the concept that you throw at us and the way you made us look at the problems, and things become very easy once you look at your once I had an understanding of your approach. Things looked very easy, and also the course structure is so complete that there's hardly anything that comes out from there's hardly anything that is left out. You are prepared thoroughly about the subjects, and that is really great. And the way you look after your students, the way you ask them about the problems, and the way you take to feedbacks also is very interesting. I would thank you for being a mentor to me, and I would really hope people look up to you and choose you as a mentor. I would suggest they do it blindly.
Thank you so much, Nitesh, for such kind words. See, I probably keep telling to my students that my role in their success journey is very, very limited, just 15 to 20%. As a mentor, as a giving as a proper guidance to each and everyone. In that part, I try to put my best 100%, and the rest 80-85% lies with the students. So I'm sure, Nitesh, whatever guidance I gave you, whatever mentoring I did in the journey for CAT 21, you must have definitely followed those things, and because of this, you were able to get a decent percentile in the CAT and finally cracking top B school like IIM Bangalore, right? So wish you all the best for the journey in IIM Bangalore, the 2 years, and later on also. And soon we'll expect a video from you live at IIM Bangalore, which I would be expecting soon, so that we can share with the CAT aspirants and they also feel yes, they want to be part of the IIM Bangalore, right? So thank you so much, Nitesh, for being here on the YouTube channel CAT to IIM by Manoj Mahajan. Thank you so much.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir. It's been a pleasure.